All right, hey there, Rivet crew. Happy Thursday. We're doing a 25-minute AMRAP today, trying to get through 2.5, maybe to 3 rounds of the following. Each round starts with an 800-meter run. We're moving on to 40 feet of single-arm overhead walking lunges. That's 40 feet per arm, followed by 30 Abmat Sit-Ups. And at the end of each round, we're performing 2 rope climbs, all the way to the top and back down. I don't know about you, but I love me some rope climbs. I'm always excited to see them in a workout. Going through the movements, simple stuff here. 800-meter run, which is about half a mile, of course. Ideally, this has taken us around 4 minutes or so, give or take. Remember, my favorite cues for running are focusing on making sure we keep the feet directly underneath the body when we run, right? We kind of focus on pulling the heels up towards the hips, right? As opposed to swinging the feet out in front. Less swing, more right underneath the body. Where we did a little drill last week where we did the 170 beats per minute. So we're looking for have kind of basically short, quick steps when we run. And then we're using our body weight primarily from the middle of the body, from the hips, to kind of pull ourselves forward. So lean, quick steps, stay nice and light on the feet. Our single arm overhead lunges. So we have inside the gym, of course, we have our squares that we're working with. So we're going from one side of all the squares to the other. That's 40 feet. We're doing single arm overhead lunges, right? You guys will grab a heavy dumbbell, heavy for you. What we're working on with our overhead lunges, of course, is shoulder stability, balance, and a little core control. Very good movement here. So a couple things to think about. First off, keeping that shoulder stable. Let's think about winding that shoulder up, right? What we don't want is what's called internal rotation. We don't need to know that, but that's what it's called. Where like the shoulder kind of twists in the sockets, the armpit actually goes away from the body. This is very bad for your shoulder and very unhealthy, or very unbalanced, I should say. What we actually want to wind up that shoulder with the armpit coming towards the body, right? We actually want to keep that kind of armpit facing forward. We want the little elbow pin here facing towards the body. And so a great cue here is making sure your thumb is pointing back behind you, right? This is external rotation. Good way to kind of wind that shoulder up and keep it nice and stable. Focus on keeping the elbow locked out and keeping that arm nice and vertical, right? Wrist right over the elbow, right over the shoulder. This is a good stable place so you can focus on doing those lunges. Walking lunges, of course. Let's try to keep that front chin nice and vertical, right? So we're not driving that front knee forward and putting a lot of pressure on the kneecap. Instead, we are stepping out, dropping down, and keeping that front chin nice and vertical there. We're bringing the feet together, and we're lunging. Quick little no-no here, no shuffling between lunges, right? This is a cheat, if you will. You see it once in a while. I know none of you guys are going to do it. But we're making sure when we do our lunges, we are simply bringing the feet together and then lunging again. Sometimes what we see is people will bring their feet together, they'll take a few steps, then they'll move on to the next one. So none of that. Bring your feet together, boom, go into your next lunge, boom, there you go. All right, Abmat Sit-Ups, you know them, you love them. My cue here, think about sitting tall. Think about pulling the top of your head towards the ceiling, right? When we do sit-ups, we want to make sure we are not rounding the back when we come up towards the feet or overextending. We want to keep that neutral spine. It's another thing we like to talk about is keeping a nice kind of neutral spine, sitting up nice and tall. Sit-ups are a good example of this. So real quick, we're doing our sit-ups. As we go down and fully extend over the Abmat, think about reaching the top of your head towards the ceiling, right? Like keep your back nice and flat. Keep your abs nice and engaged. The best way to do this is to roll forward, right? End up in this kind of rounded back position, not so good. So, pull the top of the head up towards the ceiling, good to go. And then rope climbs, of course. Like I said, I love them. I hope you do too. We'll do some drills in class and get everybody up to speed on that because we don't have any extra credit or anything else. We'll work on rope climbs a little bit before the workout. But biggest takeaway here from me to you is focus on using your legs as much as possible. Right? We use our legs to push ourselves up the rope as opposed to using our arms to pull ourselves up the rope. Makes those rope climbs much more efficient. Easier, actually. because our hands, our arms, our shoulders tend to burn out quite quickly, whereas our legs can keep going, right? So we'll work on locking the rope between the feet, and we'll work on pushing ourselves up the rope as we go today. All right, so come in, have fun with this one, guys. I hope to see all your beautiful smiling faces today. Have a good one.